is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good morning to you. The time right now is 4:27 here. We finally made it to Thursday. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. We want to start with some of our top stories before we get into the show today, starting with the latest COVID-19 numbers here in the Hoosier State. We got this updated from the State Health Department, as we do every day around the lunch hour. So right now we know more than 69,000 Hoosiers have tested for the coronavirus, and more than 12,000 of those tests have come back positive. Yesterday, they reported 31 new deaths here in the state. That brings the total of deaths in Indiana to 661. We will get an update on those numbers again around the lunch hour today. And of course, we'll keep you updated. We'll also be talking to the governor each day about what these numbers mean. And so, of course, we'll keep you updated. We do want to take a turn right now to our forecast, as we do have a little bit of an active radar, it looks like. Todd Clausen is standing by. Todd, what does this mean for folks heading out there today?
You know, today is going to be the wettest day of the week, Lauren. We kind of warned you yesterday and told you yesterday to take advantage of the nice weather on Wednesday, because you can see this rain is overspreading southwestern portions of central Indiana on Storm Team 6 radar in the center of your screen. And this is just going to continue to move to the north. So if you're not seeing the rainfall right now, which is most of us, it will be heading in our direction. Temperatures range from 46 in Logansport to 58 in Bloomington. Your temperatures today, they won't really move much at all. They're really going to be fairly steady. Speaking of steady, the steadiest of the rainfall is going to be throughout the morning hours. Once we get to this afternoon, it'll start to taper off just a little bit across the area. And the heaviest of the rain will be across southern locations of central Indiana, Lauren, where we could pick up over an inch of rain. And of course, as we work our way throughout Good Morning Indiana here, we'll walk you through it hour by hour using TrueCast and let you know exactly how much rain you could expect in your neighborhood as well.
All right, Todd, thank you so much for that update. We do want to take a turn right now back to our coverage of not only the coronavirus, but also the rebound here in Indiana. How are we going to recover from this? And of course, we've been taking your calls, your emails, your questions. And so last night, I want to thank you for anyone who joined our town hall event with Rafael Sanchez and experts from around the state talking about unemployment. And we know that there's an unprecedented amount of benefits given out between just a few days, more than the whole year so far. So Rafael has the latest numbers, what people can do if they're not seeing unemployment. So a lot of people worried about their household right now and being able to afford their bills. So we are trying to help you guys out as much as possible. Another story we have for you today has to do with your health insurance. We know it can be a scary time if you maybe lost your job or you rely on Medicare, Medicaid. So we talked to Anthem about what they're doing to help the community and just some advice if you are dealing with some problems or questions about your health insurance coverage. That story and more coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 4:30, state health officials are set to announce new efforts to improve COVID-19 testing in Indiana. What we know about their new plan to reach communities most at risk. The pandemic is creating a lot of uncertainty, including with health insurance. So I talked to an expert about what you can do to answer your Medicaid or other health care questions. And dreams for dozens of football players will come true tonight at the NFL Draft. The role one Indianapolis family will play in the event right here on RTV6. But before we get to our top stories today, I want to thank you for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. It is 4:30. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen reporting from home right now. Todd, yesterday was a great day. The warm-up came and the sunshine was wonderful today. Unfortunately, we were not going to get the sunshine that we had yesterday.
Yeah, you know, I told you at noon yesterday, Lauren, I didn't want to come downstairs into my basement where there's no windows down here. Today is the perfect day to be in your basement with the rain that'll be falling here across central Indiana for a good chunk of the day. That rain's starting to overspread central Indiana already, as you see here in southwestern locations, and it will continue to move off towards the north and east from Terre Haute to Bloomington, a few sprinkles. But here's what's off to our south and to our west. Now, we're going to miss out on the real heavy rainfall that is down to the south, but we have this secondary area of low pressure that is over here spinning away in southern Missouri. That is what's going to eventually make its way through our area and bring us the chance of rain during the day today. So prepare yourself for a wet one. Try to get your walk in between some showers if possible, but always take a look at radar before you head out. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s right now. These temperatures are really just not honestly going to do much at all throughout the day. Today, may go down a couple degrees initially as the rain starts to fall, and then we'll get back up to only about 56 degrees later on this afternoon. The good news is we get the sunshine back tomorrow. We'll talk more about that in your weekend ahead. Lauren, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now in the downtown area. This is I-65 and I-70 at the North Split. You can see some flashing lights there in the distance, and that is construction work right now that's been happening on the eastbound lanes of I-70 between the North Split and the east side at 465. A heads up, you can still go westbound this morning, but tomorrow morning early they are set to close the westbound lanes in the same area. So both lanes, both directions rather, of I-70 will be closed tomorrow for your commute. So keep that in mind. You may want to plan an alternate route and try that out today. Now to the latest on the COVID-19 outbreak. This morning, leaders with the city of Indianapolis, Marion County, and community leaders will announce a new initiative to improve testing. It's aimed at reaching communities that are disproportionately impacted by the virus. According to the state health department, African Americans make up nearly 17% of the COVID-19 cases in Indiana, but just under 10% of the population. The state health commissioner says that there are already some outreach efforts underway.
We have been working with partners including our Indiana Minority Health Coalition, our Indiana Black Expo, Indiana Latino Expo, and the Indiana Native American Commission, along with the LGBTQ community. Our Office of Minority Health has hosted a series of webinars and focused on COVID-19 to better inform our minority communities about best practices, coping strategies, social determinants of health as they pertain to this novel coronavirus.
The testing announcement is scheduled for 10 o'clock this morning. Look for details on our website, theindychannel.com, and also on the news at noon. According to the Indiana State Department of Health, more than 69,000 Hoosiers have been tested so far. More than 12,000 of those cases have come back positive. 31 new deaths were reported yesterday. 661 total deaths have been confirmed in our state. This pandemic can be especially hard on the most vulnerable in our communities, so we checked in with Indianapolis-based Anthem Medicaid about how that organization is working to connect its members and provide some relief to people in need during this time. Kimberly Roop is the president of Anthem Indiana Medicaid, who tells us they've been working to check on the most vulnerable members of our population during the stay-at-home order. Representatives have made thousands of calls to check in on people, especially those with chronic medical conditions, mental health issues, and disabilities. They also removed copays and co-insurance for COVID testing, and they also relaxed prescription refill rules. Anthem also provided a $1 million rapid response loan to assist small businesses. And here at RTV6, of course, we're looking at ways organizations are helping Hoosiers rebound out of this pandemic. So we asked Roof, what are some tangible things people can do if they come across some uncertainty with their health coverage?
Certainly work with your employer. If it's not through your employer, work directly with your insurance company. And then certainly when it comes to Medicaid, I mean, we're here to help serve our customers. Call the number on the back of your card, and just share with them and be very candid about the situation that you're in.
Roop tells us she believes some good can come out of this difficult time. One thing is telemedicine. She says more people are getting connected to medical help right from home. Plus, just as Anthem has donated PPE and other supplies, it's encouraging to see how communities are coming together during these trying times. Wait times, benefits for the self-employed, those were some of the biggest issues you had questions about during RTV6's Rebound Indiana Town Hall with the Department of Workforce Development. Our Rafael Sanchez shared your concerns with the department's Commissioner, Chief of Staff, and Indiana's Chief Unemployment Officer. While delays are still being worked out, the department has issued an unprecedented amount of benefits. Hoosiers received $276 million between Friday the 17th and Sunday the 19th. That's more than all the benefits paid out in 2019, but the department says it's not concerned about running out of the benefit funding.
Nobody should be worried about the state running out of funds here. There's an agreement that the state has with the federal government, and should our unemployment insurance trust fund run out of money, we would immediately turn on an agreement with them that allows them to advance us money to pay the claim.
More than 200,000 Hoosiers are currently receiving unemployment benefits. Well, some businesses have also been denied federal loans aimed at helping them get through this economic crisis. Merck's Family Dining in Muncie did not get money from the federal Paycheck Protection Program. Owner Tim Merkel thinks the funding ran out by the time his bank processed his application. He posted a message on Facebook telling customers that the restaurant would likely be forced to close if business did not pick up. Merkel says the community responded in a big way.
The very next day, We were short-staffed, and it was just unbelievable how many people came through. It was very, very emotional. I mean, it's hard to see it and do it because people are they're wonderful here. This has got to be the best town I've ever lived in my life. Our customers are great.
The diner has now been able to call back some laid-off workers. An Indianapolis fashion designer is putting her latest collection on hold to help make face masks, and now they're being used all over the world. Cody Banks says her prom and wedding dress orders have been put on hold, so she wanted to help make personal protective gear. She added custom masks to her line of Witty by Cody creations online.
Well, everybody has been asking me to make them, and I was like, okay, and I need to help. It's a need in America right now, so that was my biggest thing. I need to help.
The masks are reversible and have a slot for a filter inside. Banks says the online orders quickly came in, and now she's shipping individual and bulk orders all across the globe. Well, the NFL draft is still happening as scheduled, and it does start tonight. You can watch every round live right here on RTV6. While the draft is not postponed, it's not exactly business as usual. Everything is going to be done virtually, from the team's picks to player interviews, even fan reaction. Our own Dave First talked to a family who will represent Colts Nation.
It was supposed to look a lot like this. Thousands of NFL fans from around the country descending upon the Las Vegas Strip to take part in the annual NFL Draft.
Needless to say, this isn't quite the trip to Las Vegas you were expecting.
Meet the Souza Michaels. Lisa, Paul, and son Nick, they won a drawing from the Colts to be in Vegas this week.
It was disappointing. We'll be honest. It was pretty disappointing to learn that the trip was canceled and leaving today for Vegas. So that, that's kind of sad to think about.
Instead, the Colts sent a care package and lined them up to be part of the TV coverage, with the network expecting to cut to their computer camera to get the reaction to the Colts picks.
Do you know quite what to expect?
Other than just knowing that we need to be ready and knowing that when it's our turn, we're supposed to be excited, for our picks.
And they will be. The Souza Michaels have had season tickets ever since the team moved from Baltimore. Heck, Nick's middle name is Peyton.
Welcome to Colts Nation draft pick. You just got the best organization in the NFL.
And this Purdue freshman already has his response down.
You got a Reggie Wayne jersey on. Any chance the Colts are going to take a player like Reggie Wayne this weekend?
Well, we certainly hope so. There's a lot of talent in the wide receiver position in this draft. Hopefully we can take a good receiver to complement T.Y. this year.
You've done your homework. I like this. That's why you guys are doing this.
I'm not doing my actual homework.
So, armed with flags, hats, and autographed footballs, needless to say, the Souza Michaels are ready. And there's nothing virtual about that.
Let's go!
In a way, you guys kind of represent Colts Nation. So is there any pressure here for you guys going into the NFL draft?
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. Big supporter of the organization and, have always been happy with what Mr. Irsay has done for the city and the community. And so we will definitely try to show our support and make Colts Nation proud.
And you can see all 3 days of the NFL Draft live right here at RTV6 at ABC. Coverage begins at 8 Thursday night.
All right, Dave, thank you so much. Well, more governors are taking action to reopen their states. Coming up, why some have already opened beaches, bowling alleys, and other businesses. And Target employees are planning a sick-out demonstration next week, why workers say the retail company is not taking enough precautions to keep them safe. Todd.
And Lauren, after a stretch of what's been a pretty sunny stretch of weather that started on Sunday, taking us all the way through yesterday, rain returns to the forecast here today, and it's going to be with us for most of the day. We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 4:41. Stay with Good Morning Indiana. We're back in just a couple minutes.
Hiring Hoosiers only on RTV6.
More than 2,600,000 cases of the coronavirus have been confirmed across the world. According to Johns Hopkins University, more than 180,000 have died, but 700,000 people have recovered. At sundown tonight, Muslims across the globe are expected to start observing the holy month of Ramadan, but their practice will look a little different this year. Believers typically indulge together in nightly prayer and feasts after fasting, but the coronavirus restrictions will mean most observe from home. Religious leaders in Iran and Egypt have asked those observing to stay at home for prayer. Many Islamic congregations in the U.S. plan to host prayers and activities through live streams. As lawmakers in Washington rush to push through another stimulus bill, governors are navigating a critical decision when to reopen their states. Well, ABC's Alex Brachet has more on this right now from Washington.
Okay, move, everybody move.
This morning, we're getting a first-hand look at what New York first responders are facing. The Associated Press taking us into St. Joseph's Medical Center in Yonkers.
We do this all day, every day for the last month.
The number of patients at this hospital is still high, more than 1,300 new ER admissions this week, but state cases have declined.
We're in a relatively good place. Better to be going down than to be going up.
Governor Cuomo announcing he's focusing on tracking the virus, joining with the governors of New Jersey and Connecticut to hire so-called contact tracers to find and isolate people who test positive for COVID-19, saying the state is still not ready to reopen. California's governor echoing.
We're not prepared to do that today.
One fear that there could be another spike this winter, something President Trump has downplayed, but a worry raised by the CDC director who is now backing down.
I didn't say that this was going to be worse. I said it was going to be more complicated or more difficult and potentially complicated.
But there is a roaring debate in some southern states ready to open now. In Georgia, places like gyms and bowling alleys could open their doors tomorrow. Some big city mayors are pushing back.
There's nothing essential about going to a bowling alley in the middle of a pandemic.
Governor Brian Kemp defending his plan.
And listen, if people don't want to go, Martha, they don't have to.
And in Las Vegas, the mayor raising eyebrows with her push to open casinos, but offering no plan for how to do that safely.
They better figure it out. That's their job. That's not the mayor's job.
President Trump had a phone call with Georgia's governor about the state reopening some businesses this week. The president saying that he disagreed strongly with the decision to reopen certain facilities because it didn't follow White House guidelines. Alex Brachet, ABC News, Washington.
Target workers say they're planning a sick out on May 1st. Organizers say that they don't have enough protection and they want to draw attention to the health risks that they face on the job every day. The group called Target Workers Unite claims that the company is only taking half of the measures to protect them against the virus. Target says it's reduced store hours and supplied masks to its workers, but they aren't required to wear them. In a statement, the company says it's important that employees feel comfortable sharing their concerns. Time right now is 4:47. We want to check in with Todd because we have an active radar right now. Todd, what's it looking like out there?
Yeah, we're starting to see the rain make its way into central Indiana, Lauren. So as we go throughout the course of the day, the rain's going to become a little more widespread across the area, and it's going to become a little more heavier, especially in southern locations. Here's a live look at Storm Team 6 radar right now. It's a little hard to see on the monitor, but these rain showers are making their way into the southwestern locations right now, and they'll continue to make their way through the area as we go throughout the afternoon hours. So we'll track these showers in for you. Terre Haute right now to Rockville over towards Brazil and Spencer. We're dealing with this rainfall. And as we expand out, you notice this rain stretches all the way back into Missouri, and it's part of a big storm system, actually. And we're just going to be dealing with the northern fringe of it. And yesterday, some of the computer models were spitting out over an inch of rain for southern locations. That's not going to be the case here now as we go throughout the day today, as it looks like the heaviest of that rain is going to stay down to our south, but some of those rain showers approaching the metro area by 8 a.m. spreading to the north by the noon hour. And I do think even though it's not going to be the heavy rainfall across southern locations, it's still pretty steady through the middle half of the morning and into the afternoon hours. And then once we get into the afternoon, it's going to start to taper off just a little bit to more in the way of scattered showers. So that'll be good news. Here are those rainfall totals with the new computer model runs that came in overnight. And instead of talking about 1 to 2 inches of rain in southern locations, we're talking about about a half an inch now. So that's a pretty big difference. And so that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. It may change just a little bit, but the consensus is the further north you go, less in the way of rainfall. So it's not a washout by any means in northern locations, more of an inconvenience than anything. Here are your temperatures, 40s and 50s right now across the area. The temperatures that you see in your neighborhood right now are basically the temperatures you'll deal with throughout the entire day. There's not really going to be a whole lot in the way of movement temperature-wise for us today, and that's due to the clouds and these showers that will be around. Now, tomorrow we get the sunshine back, and that makes all the difference. With that sunshine, temperatures are back up into the 60s. It won't be as sunny as it was yesterday, but we'll have mixed sun and clouds throughout the day tomorrow, and that high temperature will get back up to right around 64 degrees. Saturday's the wetter day of the weekend for us across the area, and then as we get into Sunday, there could be a few lingering showers in the morning, but as we get into the afternoon, plenty of sunshine, and then as we work our way into Monday, mostly sunny skies and a temperature right around 65 degrees. So it's almost every other day, Lauren, here that we're dealing with sunshine and nice weather, and then rain showers and cooler temperatures.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We want to take a look right now at traffic. This is south of downtown I-65 near Keystone Avenue, where we have ongoing road construction. You can see the orange barrels there and barricades on your screen. Still that traffic shift for drivers in the northbound direction at Keystone Avenue, shifting over to the southbound side. Exit ramp remains open. Southbound lanes are restricted as well, so just use caution and take it slow as you travel through that area. Well, the Cook County Jail in Chicago is the largest source of new coronavirus cases outside of a medical facility in the United States, and now celebrities are pitching in to help prevent further outbreaks. Madonna and rapper Meek Mill are donating 100,000 surgical masks for inmates at the Chicago jail. They teamed up with a group called Reform Alliance to make it happen. The organization focuses on stopping the spread of the virus in prisons. They also donated 25,000 masks to a jail in Louisiana. In baseball news, the Boston Red Sox have learned their punishment after being accused of sign stealing during the 2018 season. The team was stripped of a second-round draft pick, and replay operator J.T. Watkins was suspended for the season. The Sox former manager Alex Cora also suspended for the 2020 season, but that's because of his role in the Houston Astros 2017 investigation. Cora resigned during the fallout of this investigation. The Astros were handed a heavier penalty, including a $5 million fine and the loss of 2 first-round draft picks. While in quarantine, we all have our go-to snacks, right? But one senator's favorite treat is going viral. After the break, why the internet is laughing at Mark Warner's tuna melt. And coming up, a doctor who's recovered from COVID-19 is sharing his story with RTV6, his message to others, and what he's doing now to help others recover. It's 4:51. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break. Only on RTV6 News. Welcome back. The time right now is 4:55. You can see a live look here over on the east side, I-70 and Sherman Drive. The eastbound lanes are closed on the east side for road work, and the westbound lanes are set to close tomorrow morning. Of course, we'll keep you updated. A Virginia senator is going viral for his skills in the kitchen. Senator Mark Warner took to Instagram to show off his sandwich making skills. Well, he posted this short tutorial for one of his favorite quarantine snacks, a tuna melt sandwich. Warner started by squeezing a lot of mayonnaise on 2 slices of white bread. Then he scooped the tuna straight onto the bread with the water visibly dripping, and then he added 2 slices of cheddar cheese, microwaved the whole sandwich for 30 seconds. The internet has since found this video hilarious, giving it more than 28,000 views. Oh man, Todd, this reminds me of our elementary school cookbook. My husband and I went to the same elementary school, and he submitted a tuna melt recipe. 3 steps: put the tortilla, put the tuna on the cheese, microwave it. To this day, I still give him a hard time about that tuna melt recipe. I was like, that's the one thing you decided to submit to our school recipe cookbook. So pretty gross.
I know. I remember you telling me that. And I don't have the TV on because there's a delay, but I was listening to you describe that going into the microwave, and I was just sitting here kind of cringing a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll stick with the oatmeal here this morning for my breakfast.
That sounds better.
All right, it's a wet day for us ahead here across the area, as we'll be dealing with showers off and on throughout much of the day. The showers a little more steady to the south. Tomorrow, though, sunshine back, 67, before more showers return for Saturday. Time now is 4:57. Stay with us. We're back in just a few minutes.